everyone. This is Jared Rand. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Thursday, January 23, 2025, 3:30 p.m. We're having a reverse aging health call tomorrow night around a little after 9:15 p.m. Eastern and all the rest. Could you ask yourself if you could stay in the middle of a storm? It seems an easy enough question, but have you ever been in the center of a storm, like a cyclone? The center is the God within. It is the peace, the love, kindness, generosity, humbleness. It's all within. Abundance, prosperity, wealth is all within. And as we know, like attracts like. And this is why you hear me say so many times, focus on what you want, not what you do not want. Now, many people will focus on what they don't want, and they don't really, it's not like they're doing it on purpose. It's a habit, and they don't check it. So they don't realize what they're attracting. And then it comes into their lives, and then they believe that it is, somewhere else. It's something else is doing it. There's somebody or something is causing this to happen to me. You find the center of the cyclone of life, and you'll discover deep, profound peace. Now, what is the cyclone? Well, the actual storm is out there. It is hustle, bustle, hurry, rush, press, stress, fear, worry. That's the storm. That's the cyclone. Now, the center, anybody has seen video footage or anything of the center of a storm is completely quiet. It's almost eerily so. And when you're in the center of it, everything is still. Nothing is moving. Even though you have this raging energy all around you, where you're at, it doesn't affect you. Now, the raging energy is ego mind. Now, some of us would look at that star and say, I got to get out there. Others wouldn't because they'd be fearful. But some would say, I got to get out there. I got to get out of here type thing, right? In other words, move outside the storm. Which is interesting because the storm is everywhere. You can't escape it. Only by going within can you move out of it. And how many of us go within? See, once we discover for ourselves, through our own choosing, who and what we are, and then we delve into that much deeper and we embrace it. And everything else is there. Like what kind of life do you want to live? How do you want things to be on this planet? How do you want the civilization to be? That power within us, nothing compares to it. All the technologies and all the spaces and all existence and beyond do not touch it. Doesn't it make sense that we were designed, the whole package, We have the whole package. We have everything that we'll ever need within us, yet we're constantly being taught generation after generation to seek outside of ourselves. Doesn't make sense, does it? Why would we seek outside of ourselves when everything that we're seeking is within us? We do know that when you deeply, eternally love yourself, then it is with ease that you love others. If you do not, obviously, you will not love others. You may think that you do, or feel kind of that you do, but there's always disruption. Disruption occurs. That's why, people parting a relationship, right? They part it. And, we say they go their separate ways. It's because they do not love themselves. They can't love anything else. That's a real dilemma on this planet. It's been going on for millions of years. And doesn't that make sense? So, and those who do, they find out how deep love for another truly is, because your love for yourself is deep. But see, so many of us are in a hurry. So we partner not loving ourselves. And we partner and it doesn't stay. It moves away. Now you would believe that many would comprehend that. So, well, I got to go within, and I want to identify things about myself that I can forgive and begin to love myself. The mind often acts like a storm of energy and information, spewing out all sorts of thoughts and ideas about this world. It cannot make the world around us, it can make the world around us seem chaotic, exciting, boring, or way too much to handle. Now, our mind is like an overused machine that never gets a break and is always super busy. All day long, it's spinning around its thoughts, chattering 1,000 miles an hour about this and that. It's as if your mind is caught in its own cranks, wheels, and gears, spinning in the same patterns for years, if not lifetimes, that it once created. So, if you are caught in the whirling mind, then these turbulent thoughts can make your life appear as if it is off course. It can feel like you're being tossed in many different directions, as your mind can throw out random harsh thoughts at you. And we all experience this. None of us are exempt from it. Hurry up. You don't have time for this. Have you ever said that to yourself? You don't have time for this. Got to get going. Can't wait for this. Got to go. Get back to work. Or even the point where you say, what am I having for dinner? And see, the mind, even though it's an illusion, can be rude, mean, and make you feel inadequate, guilty, fearful, worried, stressed. That's all the mind. It can take you down these roads of thinking that can make you think there is no happiness inside. Have you met people like that? People that live in the mind will say this in certain situations. What's the use? Is this really all worth it? That's someone living in the mind. And it can exhaust you. You ever felt not a lot laborious, but during the course of your day, you can't really put your finger on it. You're just exhausted. You're just spent. And you don't know why. You go, well, I didn't do any high exertion today. I wasn't really stressed out. But man, I feel totally wiped. It's because of the mind. It's a good thing that we have so many exits, ways of getting off. With each of these thoughts slamming into us, you may notice that you have the choice to react to them or just watch them sail by. It's almost like we think we're missing something. Maybe I'm going to miss something if I don't pull that in. And you just let it go by. You get thoughts that come in. They aren't yours, I guarantee you. They're the mind's, not yours. They come in. They sneak in at times. And you feel them. Right? So you embrace them, and so you're thinking in that direction. And you can just say to yourself, no, thank you. And it dissipates. You know what it is, okay? It's not like you're perplexed. You know what that thought is. You know that you did not generate it. So you just let it go. See, some of us will go, oh no, I've got to get this one, this one, this one, this one. I might miss something. Those are the people that will say, why me? Why is this all happening to me? What did I do to deserve this? Now, some of us will react to all the crazy mind chatter, the noise. You will be thrown back into the tornado of life by reacting to all the crazy mind chatter. Now, when you choose instead to actually sit back from your mind, what do you think in these meditations we're doing? You find a comfortable place. You have no outside distractions. You relax into your body. You're as still as a statue, and you focus on your breath rising and falling in the space between heartbeats. You're sitting back from your mind. You're in your ego. You're watching. You watch, observe, but you're not in it. And you become the observer. You will discover that you can create a comfortable distance from every thought that passes by. Every thought. Comfortable distance. Finding this observer in you is where you become the master of the winds of your psyche. Set the intention right now to recognize the personal nature of your typical storm. Many people on this planet, it's a fear-based thinking that creates those 300-mile-an-hour winds in a hurricane lifestyle. You ever see these people rushing about in a hurry, always in a hurry, always something is, I got to get here to do this, and I'm running late for this, and that's just got to be done over here, and I've got to get this done, and I've got to get that done. Can't be late. And that's the mind controlling you. Bottom line, it's the mind controlling you every step of the way. Every step of the way. And it doesn't mean you know it. Doesn't mean you're aware of it. Most aren't. You may notice, what are the concerns and responsibilities and fears created by your mind? And how they are truly an illusion. See, and this is a toughie because all of us, through so many millennia, have been trained. I mean, really heavy duty. And there is really nothing that has to be done. We are connected with existence, and that is enough. You don't have to do anything or be someone special to continue to exist. Now, your mind may believe that something important needs to be done, get done, or else you will die. It's a type of fear-based thinking that causes us to be caught in the storm. And most of us don't have one inclination that that's what we're doing. And the real truth is that we are all complete, whole, and truly perfect, exactly as we are now, in this very moment. You do not have to do a thing to be perfect. We were all born, birthed divine. No matter what happens in the chaotic outer world, our divine inner nature will always remain untouched, undamaged, and complete. Just believe this for 24 hours and see what happens. None of us on this planet we no longer have to suffer in this storm. We can find the oasis of calm that lies in the middle of each moment. And the discovery is to learn how to quiet the mind and reconnect with our divine nature. And this is what we do in these meditations. We quiet the mind and we reconnect with our divine nature. The easiest way to do this is to remain present to what is. This can be mastered through learning meditation. The more you meditate, the more you realize that you are not your mind and that you are infinite and untouched by any winds blowing around you. It's an enjoyable thing. Practicing meditation basically is simply sitting in silence and watching the crazy mind chatter as it comes and goes. It is like sitting and watching the distant clouds move across a peaceful blue sky background. The more we observe these thoughts without buying into them or getting caught up in them, the more we detach and find this vast, infinite stillness inside of us. Over time, we will be able to recognize the stillness of getting caught in the mind and become truly freed from this grasp, from its grasp. It will be a glorious day when this civilization, when you remain centered, no matter what crazy storm is brewing around you. Many of us try too hard. We overexert and we overtry. Okay? It doesn't mean that you don't end up accomplishing. It's just very arduous for us when we do that. It is unnecessary. We don't need to try so hard. Some of us will say, well, yeah, I tried meditating. I tried meditating. It just doesn't do anything. And I always say to people, then try a different way of meditating. I meditated just about every kind of meditation that you could possibly think of. Transcendental was one of them. And I'm not slighting any of them. It just depends. But in the purest, simplest form, it's when you leave the mind and ego alone. And you sit back and you just watch it all. Without comment, you observe. You just observe. And people don't realize that you can be in meditation all day long. People say, well, how the heck do you do that? You slow down whatever action you're doing and be more present to the experience. Slow down whatever action you are doing and be more present to the experience. In other words, if you do a walking meditation, you're focused on the walking. You know, the body, the movement, the arms, the hands, the legs, your hearing, your sight, your feeling. That's a walking meditation. An eating meditation. When you sit down to have a lunch, a dinner, a breakfast, you're focused on the body, you're focused on the food and how things work, how the energy is absorbed, how does it feel. That's what you're focused on. You're not focused on anything around you at all. You're only focused on that. Same when you take a shower. You're focused on the shower. Nothing else. You're focused on the water hitting your body. You're focused on shampooing your hair. You're focused on cleaning your feet, massaging the feet. You're focused on the body. I mean, you could go on and on with this. You could be doing the dishes. Some people still do the dishes, by the way. And you could be doing the dishes and focused only on your hands and the suds and the water, the warmth of the water. Exactly what you're doing. Those are the now moments in our lives. That's the center of the storm, the now. And when we discover that when we do this, we're actually sitting back, totally relaxed into the body, observing the mind and how it works, watching it, the thoughts coming by. And that's the storm. You just picture yourself in this huge, this wonderful, easy kind of a lounge chair. You're well supported in your body, and you're just totally relaxed within yourself. And then all this stuff. You hear, you see screaming and yelling and explosions. And you name it, it's there. And you're totally at ease. It doesn't affect you because you're not in the mind. When you begin to do that, and you acknowledge it, this is when you start to experience little sips of total peace, total contentment. There's nothing pulling at you because it can't, because you aren't in it. You're outside of it. If you're in a forest, a really dense forest, and all you can see are the trees, you have no idea what direction you're in. You have no idea where you're going to navigate, right? Do I go left? Do I go right? Do I go forward? Do I go backwards? And it's a choice. Now, you maneuver through the trees. You have no idea what's out there. You have no idea if there's animals or whatever. But you continue to maneuver. You feel stressed and fearful because it's all unknown. You have no idea what's going to come around the next tree. You get hurried and frustrated, worried and stressed. But you keep maneuvering through the trees. You have no idea if there's ever an exit because all you can see is trees. You see some kind of light, but the trees are so tall and so dense, it's barely lit. It's very dark at the bottom, right? You're maneuvering based upon the little bit of light that does get in. But then you come across, it looks like an exit. There's a little clearing, okay? And there's more light there. So you say, well, I'm going to go over there. So you go over there, and you immediately are positioned and you're watching the entire forest. You see it all because you're outside of it. You were in it, and now you're outside of it. Huge difference. And so you watch it, you're watching a lot of things where when you were in it, you couldn't see all those things. You start to say to yourself, this is really cool. I don't feel stressed. I don't feel hurried. I don't feel anxiety. I don't feel any of that. I feel completely at ease. I just totally relaxed. Now, you could get used to that, couldn't you? I mean, that is something that you could get really used to in a good way. Really used to in a good way. What do you think would happen or believe would happen? More and more of us discover that and say, you know what? I like this space. I'm going to stay in this space. I'm going to watch it so I can see all of it. And I don't care to be in it anymore because my vision is impaired. I can't see it all. And you can't. But see, outside of it, you can zoom in. You're not in it. You could zoom in. You could see a bug crawling on the tree, the bark of the tree. You can see a bird fly off or a squirrel jump from tree to tree. You can see all of it. Doesn't that resonate and communicate with you that this is where we should be? As a civilization, as a people, as a species, this is where we should be. Observers, watching, never judging, We have no stress, no fear, no anxiety. We're in a place of heart-mindedness. And we now, without effort, we can literally create anything we choose, but we're aware of it. We're not in the forest anymore. And we can create it. This is a fact. This isn't a guess. It isn't a suggestion. It's a fact. You choose for yourself to be in the now, to focus in heart-mindedness, to move into the heart mind, and to stay away from the ego mind. That's how you don't engage with the ego mind. You don't end up having to protect yourself, because when you feel like you have to protect yourself, you are protecting the ego. There's nothing for us to protect. There really isn't. The beings that we truly are, omnipotently powerful, supreme manifesting abundant beings that never die. And while we're in these bodies, we can literally manifest anything, anytime, anywhere. And as the gods that we are in these bodies, we could be in two places at once. We could travel the galaxies in the universe in a blink of the eye, but we don't know that. And there's a process to that. There's step-by-step learning. This is why we learn. This could all be done for us. It could all be done, set up. That's it. What would we learn? Say? We wouldn't, would we? It would just be. But this is not how we're constructed. We learn, we experience, we create things so we can experience. This is what we do. We create and we experience. We are creators. That's what we've always been. That's what we always will be. We're infinite. We always have been and always will be. These bodies are temporary. I don't care if you're in them for 10 years, 1,000 years, 20,000 years, but they're still temporary. Because eventually you'll decide, I'm going to move on. I'm going to take on another form. See, it's to really vibrantly embrace our true beingness, which is pure consciousness, which on this planet we call God. And in pure consciousness, in the collective consciousness of all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, we are. We're the essence of it, just like I use the analogy of the ocean and the drop. Everything is you, and you are everything. It's really true. If you don't like something, there's something about you that you don't like within. Right? If you like something that you come across, there's something within you that you like. Now, how about that being across the board? That you begin to love everything about yourself exactly the way you are in this very moment. Without argument. So in the quietness of this meditation, focus on one thing and listen and repeat. I deeply and eternally love myself, exactly the way I am in this very moment. I join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still, relaxed into your body. Focus on your breath rising and falling. Not space between heartbeat. You are the dreamer in the dream. It's so easy to get lost in the dream. We are either dreaming about what we want or what we don't want to manifest. When you notice who is aware of the mind dreaming and scheming about everything in your life, you can see how easy it is to step back and awaken from the dream. You realize that you are the divine dreamer and the source behind the manifestation of your dreams. You are creating it all from within. Your highly creative imagination. This is your day to truly wake up and be free from it all. Get out of your comfort zone. Step beyond this dreamland. Find that eternal witness who never dreams and is permanently awake, living life by smelling the roses. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, the following morning. We'll return here Friday, January 24, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our global guided meditation call. And after 9:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our reverse aging health call and all the rest. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Being the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times. No matter what's going on within you, nor outside of you. Open your heart and allow the magic to flow